What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. When we left off in the last episode, I was working on building my drill rig, and a lot has happened since that episode. I've been doing a lot of off-camera work, probably more than I've honestly ever really done in between episodes, kind of thing, I would imagine. So let me show you what has happened. This has happened. So the drill works, I got it working, and it pretty much functions as intended with a few minor tweaks. I did add the timer blocks eventually because it was just simpler to use that logic, but I am using a custom script that I wrote to manage the timer blocks in terms of it checks for the drills to be empty, the welders to have enough materials to build the blueprint, etc., and so on. And if none of those conditions are met, then it won't toggle it. If they are, it will toggle the first timer block. And then it'll run through its sequence to do the whole leapfrog thing and to build the pillar. And then the last timer block will actually re-trigger the programmable block, and then it will basically do its checks and stuff again. So in theory, if I've done all my stuff correctly, it shouldn't ever really just fly off the track because it started to try and go and then it, didn't have enough materials to build the pillar and all that kind of stuff. So theoretically, it should be working now. I don't know if I showed it in the last episode. I believe I did, but the problem that was keeping the merge blocks from latching was kind of the, or at least I thought it was. It didn't quite end up being as difficult to do in survival, but it was having it merge to the main frame of the moon base. Once I disconnected that, the merge blocks kind of snapped. I had a lot of people talking to me about that in the comments, and I was kind of surprised at how, big of a deal everyone was making about it in terms of this won't work and you got it, and I was kind of I just had to disconnect a block and then it worked. I didn't have to redesign anything. It works fine. Now you might be wondering, well, why aren't you showing us how it works? Well, the short version to that is it works really well. That's kind of the reason. So I've run it twice in total, two full runs starting. Well, I say in total, they weren't full. It started with most of the length extended, and it had just cut into a little bit of the area that we were kind of marking out, and then I retracted it and then tried it. And so it's done two full leaps, if you will, but only the second one did it actually bore further down kind of thing to where it had all of the drills functioning and so on and so forth. I did kind of just keep inching the drills down and kept getting more stone. Which leads me to my current predicament. All of my inventories are full. And it's not just all of stone. Even the drills, well, the drills aren't completely full, but they might as well be. And it's not just the stone part that's becoming the problem. I had it building things to try and use up the materials. Problem I ran into with that was the inventory here and here that I have no place to put the components anymore, really. So it ends up getting somewhat hung up. Now, I could move these for this particular one because I'm only building out of Assembler 1. For some reason, maybe somebody else can help me with this, I have 2, 3, 4 set to cooperative mode, and then I had them all turned on and it did nothing. They didn't pull any of this stuff and start building. They didn't pull resources and things, so I don't really know how that ended up happening, but they haven't been all that helpful. Anyways, I digress. So I've been doing a lot of inventory management, essentially, because my inventory is currently flooded with materials and stone and a whole bunch of crap. Even to the point where, I think I have a bunch of iron on me. No, I don't, actually. Let's grab some. You can even tell that I ended up welding up all of the frame around here. I'm gonna start working on welding the ring, because that's a lot of material, and I'm going to run this back too. And with this setup the way that it is, I may end up changing this conveyor line to go back down this tunnel and come out running just in a straight line along here, because it doesn't need to be wrapped under anymore. But the other thing, I'll do that later. The other thing that I wanted to point out is I also completely welded up the second refinery's yield module, so both refineries are now running basically full-time at the moment with all the stone when they can. I'm thinking that I might do some like another, I don't know if I can with those blocks up there actually now that I think about it. Let's go to a local grid. And will you... I don't think it'll fit there because of the blocks I put above the stone to seal in the air. So there's that. But I'm gonna need some more storage somewhere. I mean, thankfully I think I have the materials to make it, and we definitely have the stone. And I may go ahead and, I don't know, build some more air tanks or something. But let's go ahead and close these two doors. But the other fun part is I should be able to turn these guys on now, and we should have airflow. Now, that's weird. It's set to on. That was kind of weird. It was set to on, but it was like, it was blowing out anyway. So, where's our O2 level? I didn't ever really pay attention to that. It says O2 no, so it's got to be filling up. I don't know what our tanks are at, really. I don't think any of them were super full. Oh, that one's mostly full, so maybe we'll have enough. But you might be wondering, well, how did you seal that? Well, I did this. Now, I built an elevator here. Unfortunately, I don't know why it's a little clangy. I'm not really sure, and I really have difficulty with these buttons. Oh, sure, now you're gonna work really well. But I mean, it sparks a little bit. I don't know, I don't get any damage to it, or the walls or anything, so it seems like it's fine. But it does kind of spark around a little bit, so I don't know. I've seen a lot of people building with the new collision boxes and that these are fine and stuff, and granted, I'm not getting any damage, but I am, well, actually, I am getting damage. Okay. I am kind of wondering what's different about this setup, because it's basically just a catwalk on top of a piston. I don't know if I need, like, you know, a blast door block or something to trick the collision boxes. I'm not sure exactly what I need to do. Now, I could remove the catwalk and just use the pistons, and that seemed to be fine. I don't know. I also tried to experiment with this blue neon strip type thing, the tube lighting, and I'm mixed on it in that it kind of lights things up, but I can't actually access it through the terminal block, which was not exactly what I expected. Like, there's no tube block or anything, and I believe that is what it's called, neon tubes. So tube should make it come up in the menu if it was there. So I don't have any way to like control it. All you can do is color them and hope that it casts enough light. So that's something I'm not sure about. And I thought about testing it down here. Oh yeah, this needs to be on too. But see, it's weird. It's like it's pressurizing but not pressurizing. That's really weird. Oh wait, that's set to depressurize. No. Turn that back on. Okay. So yeah, I thought about testing, as far as what we're going to work on today, I will probably end up, if you guys want to, maybe doing a separate video on the drill itself. I mean, I know I've done drill, I've shown it built, but as far as the timer and programming configuration and all that kind of stuff, if you guys want to see it, I may make a standalone separated video for that, if you guys want to, because I feel like we've spent quite a few episodes already on that, so I don't feel like it's really necessary. It works and it functions and it does what I want it to do, and we've got a crap ton of resources to work with now. So I think the name of the game today is twofold. One, I do want to mention Alright, well, okay, first of all, I want to get some more storage going because we just need it, so that's probably going to be one thing. I want to finish the conveyor lines, which isn't too difficult, and I may try and rerun this conveyor tube to set up, and I'll probably try and get the, whatchamacallit, this outer ring at least welded up. I don't know if I'll do, like, beautifying it or anything like that, but I think I at least want to try and get it welded up. I don't know. I'll probably leave that for last, just because that's maybe a lot of off-camera time that I don't know if I'll be able to spend or not. We'll see. But the other thing is I want to mention to you guys about modding, that I've always mentioned in this series, this season anyway, that I wanted to keep modding to a minimum and only do it when I had to. And we've introduced some things, the build info mods and stuff like that. But there's a couple of mods that have been recommended to me that I'm curious what everybody thinks about. One is the tiered system, where you actually have like tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 welders, grinders, things like that. I don't really find that to be a cheaty type mod. It's more like an endgame mod, if you will, that it's like it takes the normal stuff, but then you can upgrade all of it. And I believe storage units and all that kind of stuff, assemblers, I think they all have that tiered system to it with that mod, which I think would be kind of cool and add a little bit of longevity in terms of the playthrough. We may not need a billion storage units if we upgrade them to tier type things. The other one that I personally am thinking of adding is a gravel sifter. The reason being, I've got somewhere around 500,000, well, 500k gravel somewhere in these storage units. 455 plus all the stuff that I've got scattered about somewhere. So
Energy low.
This is kind of getting stupid because there's so much gravel, but all it is used for is the reactor components. All of it. Like that's the only thing it's used for. And I find that to be kind of stupid. It's essentially like basically the other thing is it's kind of like what they did with stone. Originally stone didn't have a whole lot of purpose, and then they made it to where you could sift through it and get some more ores and resources out of it. So that's kind of my thing, is I'm kind of thinking that we can repurpose all that pointless gravel, because honestly I don't build that many reactors to begin with. I try and do everything through battery powered and stuff like that anyway. So I won't need that many reactor components. It's just not, I mean, like, even with a large build, I'll try and still keep the reactors to a minimum. So, but that could turn around and give us more iron and other things. Now, the only part that it's a little on the cheaty side is if you do enough of it, you can get gold, platinum, and something else. You can basically get some of any material out of it, and that could be a little bit considered cheaty or whatever, as we wouldn't have had to like rough it and find gold like we had to and all that stuff. So curious about what you guys think about that, but I'm going to work on some off-camera stuff, try and get my storage situation fixed, and possibly weld up some other things, as well as modify the conveyor lines and stuff like that. I will be back when I have a bit of progress done. Okay, so fun fact, as I was going about building stuff and doing things, a thought occurred to me that went, wait a minute, why am I trying to build the ring around the drill, which is essentially just metal, when I could be doing something productive with that material, like, for example, expanding my solar array. So I think I've got it kind of set up to do that. I finished I've expanded, I added 6 more batteries, I think. Not that we really need to that much in terms of, obviously these are only at 1 pip, so we're not really storing that much energy, but I figured it would help when we start producing more energy. So I should have, the only thing that I have left on these guys is the solar cells and the bulletproof glass, and I should have enough glass that I should have everything that I need there. It's just going to come down to a couple of trips for the solar cells. I don't know if I have all the solar cells I need or not. I've made a bunch of them. I think I made somewhere around 300 to 400 or something, but I know they take 32 a pop, so I'm not sure. I did finally get some of my inventory stuff sorted. Yeah, I don't think we have enough. Let's go ahead and do another 300. That seemed to go fine. Wait a minute. What's happening here? Oh, I bet it doesn't have enough room for silicon. Yeah, because it's just full of gravel. Gosh, this gravel crap, it's so annoying. It really is, just because it's not doing anything. It's just there. I have 640,000 gravel. We do have 400,000 of that, which I think is kind of impressive. Let's fill... let's do 1,000. That should be enough for that, and then we'll load that up like so. Put that there. And let's... I'm going to throw that in there for the moment. This is... I need to either run, what is it, Izzy's inventory management script or something, because all of this stuff keeps going to the wrong places. Like, it keeps putting component things in the ingot one and stuff, and I'm like, I've labeled, you know, like, you've already got stuff there. That's the thing that gets me about this. I don't quite get why, when you've got components and things, and there's room, why isn't it just throwing it on top of an already existing stack? Why is it, like, putting it some random place? I don't get it. But, so I either need to work on doing my own, or I need to need to start using Izzy's or something. I've heard of that one anyway. Being the one that a lot of people use. I think it's an Izzy script. I'm not sure. It's either that or M Masters. It's one of the big ones. One of the typical people that do really crazy scripts. Yeah. So I just went around and I was like, well, I've got plenty of materials. I got materials coming out my ears at this point. I could probably even expand the oxygen farm ones as well if we needed to. But as you can see, I put another 4 large crates, so I have 8 stone overflow crates. And until a few minutes ago, they were all full. Actually, I think it's only the last one, and even these are out of order because I named them differently, I guess, but it didn't organize it by order. So 8 is the only one that I've actually cut into its stack. But see, it's like this. Why? Why are you there? And this is what's annoying me. There's components right here, and it's not full. Why? Why would you not just go there? I don't get it. But I digress. So like I said, I'll probably either run Izzy's or something. I just need to do something to get it to where it stops. Because that's part of what's been bottlenecking some of this stuff, is something will get full, and then it won't proceed. But the problem is that it's overflowing with random crap that doesn't even belong in that container. So it's kind of like, I have you labeled. Why are you doing that? You know? But anyway. So yeah, I've upgraded the overflow system. I don't even know if that's enough solar panels, solar cells. But I've upgraded the storage container. I didn't show it yet, but I did reroute the the conveyor tubing. So that's running directly under the frame now. I don't think that's going to be enough solar cells. Nope. Jeez, solar cells eats a lot. Although this is a fairly lengthy, I would say it's a fairly lengthy array anyway. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, that's about 100. And then 1, 2, 3, 200, 1, 2, 3. So about 350. I'm gonna make 400 just to account for the overflow of the 32. It's not like 30. 350 might be enough. Let's just do another 4. I got materials, it's fine. While that's cooking, yeah, as you can see here, I went ahead and routed this again. I haven't fully broken down that one because I ran out of inventory, and I actually had to, apparently I did this wrong, that apparently last time I ran it along the ceiling and was walking this way, so I just had to do a junction here that would connect it. But now that's connected up and cleaned, so it looks all nice and tidy. I really like how the design around the storage crates actually came out. That was kind of a whim, just like, let's just try this. Because my thought process was, I don't know... Ooh, this would be interesting. Oh, I don't have any steel on me. Let's just grab a few. Let's just grab like 10. I got plenty of them. But I wonder if I did something like this. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. Like, maybe something like along these lines. And kind of having a little bit of a bar there. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then essentially this area... let me just grab a few more steel plates because I'm actually kind of curious about this now. No, why did you put that there? See, it's like that. Why are you going in the ore one? You're right there. Whatever. I'm not gonna keep harping on it, but it's annoying. So if I did... I'm trying to see where... Would I do it here? And then come over? Yeah. Okay. So if I did that, that would actually give us a decent amount of room to move around in here. And what I'm thinking of doing is essentially, it would be a little bit glorified in terms of I don't really need a control room for the drill or the mining thing, but I'd basically have like an LCD screen. If we do Izzy's inventory management or something, maybe I'll have an LCD screen or something that shows me the mining or the inventory count for all of these overflows, how much stone we have total, whatever. I don't know how all that particular script works. But I'll probably do something like that. And then what I'm thinking is putting doors here-ish, somewhere in here. And maybe not even doors, but just like archways. Ooh, maybe we can use the tubing, or the neon tube archways. That would be kind of cool. It'd be like a doorway, but it wouldn't be in the way. That'd be kind of neat. And what I'm thinking is, or maybe there? I don't know. But having some kind of access point here, and then having glass going around here so they'd kind of be like in this cool enclosure type of thing. And then either running glass along here and then doing some kind of enclosure that way. Maybe a door here. Something along those lines. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, I just realized we could actually put like a vent here. Or one lower, or vents along here. Something. Maybe a vent on each of those top things if they're part of this one large dome. But then essentially, when you looked out, you'd have the outer ring perimeter, you'd have the inner ring, and then there'd be kind of this... some form of semi-glass dome-ish thingy? I know that's a very technical term, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, that would be kind of cool, I think. You guys can let me know what you think about all of that. I did mention it in the most recent inspiration series, but I'm also going to mention it here as well since I don't really have anything better to do.
Your
Ow!
health is low.
That almost killed me. One thing I did want to mention is I would highly encourage you guys to... Wow, I'm just doing well on all fronts. I'm low on oxygen, low on health, low on energy. I would encourage you guys to respond and leave your comments on the Discord server. I know a lot of you are still commenting on YouTube, on the videos and stuff directly, which is fine, but recently I've had a much more difficult time keeping up with the comments, and it's multifaceted, but basically part of it is due to just overall clunkiness of YouTube's interface, that it's sometimes hard for me to go back through the discussion threads and find something someone told me. Particularly if I've responded. I try and make sure that I at least read all of the comments, and sometimes I do try and make sure that if it merits it that I respond and whatnot, but sometimes I can't respond to every little thing. But the other big reason is just because that YouTube will notify me. It gives you a little bell thing, like, you know, if somebody you watch posts a video or something, it does the same thing. I may be able to back that in a little bit, maybe one block in. I think that would look better. Anyway, but yeah, the thing for me is that, sorry, I'm trying to talk and do at the same time. It's not always the best idea. But basically, it gets lost in the shuffle, is that there are some times where I'll have responded and someone else will try and keep the conversation going, and I don't see it, kind of thing. And so then I have to go back and look through all of the stuff that I've ever replied to and see, sift through it and find it and whatnot, and it's kind of annoying. So, with that said, let me use this to dump some steel. But anyway, so long story short, I know that wasn't very short. I would say since the Discord server is up and running, to use that from this point on if you can. I mean, there are some people that are opposed to Discord or something, I guess, and don't want to use it, that's fine. But just know that if you comment on stuff on YouTube, there is a good chance that I either will not notice it or will have responded, but then it may get lost in the YouTube algorithm stuff, and I may never see it again, even if you reply and whatnot. So, if you really want to get my attention and get your point across, or have a discussion, or whatever, Discord is probably a good idea. I don't know how I feel about that. Let me know what you guys think about which one you like better. I'm actually going to do two, just for kind of devil's advocate kind of thing here. I'm going to do it two ways. I kind of like the smaller line that this one allows. Like that. We'll just go ahead and fill this in, I suppose. There we go. I kind of like the smaller line, but I do like the room that the bigger gap gives. I wonder if I should make it even smaller. You know what? That's what we're gonna do. Well, not what we're gonna... I'm gonna try it real quick. So that was coming directly off of that. So then, if I went smaller... Oh, that's the wrong block. If I went smaller, I'd have to go one back. Let's see what that looks like. We'll basically do a trial and error here, and you guys can tell me which one you prefer. I think the reason I'm not a big fan of this is because all of these edges have a straight line and then it kind of curves in, and this edge goes right into the corner. And I don't think I like that as much. This looks kind of cool, and this almost looks a little too big of a gap, and I don't really like how that edge just butts right up into that. But it does make an interesting shape. I suppose the shape is relatively the same as this, it's just this is fatter. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm probably going to build this one, I think. And then if we decide, if I get a whole bunch of people telling me that they like this one better or that one better, I'll retrofit it. But yeah, so a lot of progress on the base today. Well, I say today, this episode. Or rather, leading up to this episode. Because we have this huge drill now that will pretty much self-sustain forever. There are some tweaks, and again, I apologize if people were wanting to know how I set it up and did, like, the timer blocks and everything. I just felt like we had done enough of this for, like, 2 episodes straight. People would probably be bored of it. Not that this episode was all that eventful. It was mainly a lot of, what do you call it? Sit rep type thing, where it was like, I'm explaining the new updates to the base kind of thing. It was kind of a showcase of the base now. We got an elevator, we got storage overflow, we've got a drill working, we expanded our solar arrays. Like, there's a lot to the base now. We've got a flood of materials going. I think I'm going to tinker with the base part out here a little bit more, and then probably start designing a capital ship is probably what I'm going to go with. Let me know what you guys think. But I may do a special one-off episode thing that's not directly related. I might call it like episode, you know, whatever this is, 35.5 or something, where we discuss this at length, in case you actually wanted a breakdown of how all the logic works. One thing I will say, for timer blocks, turning on a connector and locking a connector seems like it has to be in 2 different timer blocks. I had turn on and lock and unlock and turn off in the same... well, actually, that one works, but turn on and lock seems like it happens too quickly for the block to keep up, so I ended up having to separate those commands into different timers, but anyway, I digress. There are a couple of things with the script that I haven't done. I was kind of just get it up and running and get it... I really just wanted situational checks. I really just wanted it that if it didn't have materials, don't run. If the drills still had ore in them, don't run. And stuff like that. And as it stands, I may actually... because ideally when I'm fully done with this setup, this will just run whenever I need it to. So what I may do is I may include in the script the overflow containers, which were not there when I built the script. I may include those and say if those aren't empty, don't run, but if they are, then you can do another pass kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know, but basically I wanted the programmable block to check this, so I didn't have to keep an eye on it. It could just basically run itself, essentially. Which it does do, but it doesn't have some fail-safes in it, like if the welders are not full of what they need, I could run a script where it queues up in the assembler what it needs, and if it, you know, stuff like that, because I already have a script in there, or part of the script is if it can find the materials in my storage things to fill up the welders. I already had that in place, though I do need some more efficiency checks in there because right now there's not any exclusions. It'll pull it from anywhere and stuff like that. So there's a few little exclusion things I gotta include. But anyway, we're running long on time for this video. I know this was a bit of a different episode because we weren't really doing a lot. A lot was kind of a map showcase and mod discussion and things like that, but I got a lot of progress done off camera, so I wanted to show what progress we had made and kind of talk about where I want to go from here. So let me know in preferably Discord, but also the comments if you'd prefer. Let me know what you guys think about the different mod ideas that I had about the gravel sifter and the tiered systems and things. I don't expect any pushback on the tiered system because I've actually had that recommended by like 4 or 5 different people at least, so I'm pretty sure that's okay with everybody. But let me know what you guys think about that, and let me know if you'd like a separate video that kind of more detailed reverse engineer-ish styles walks through the drill process and whatnot. But with that, we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.